Hello everyone, welcome to my next tutorial. In this tutorial, I will briefly talk about literature review. What is literature review? How we can perform literature review in our research work. Literature review or related work. The main idea of literature review is it provides relationship of current work with the literature. Why do we need to perform a literature review? Whenever we have selected our research topic in any field, then we require to know what work have been already done on this specific area that I am going to work. So this literature review provides us the way to know more about the topic that we have selected. It makes our research work very simple and help us to complete our work with quality. I will briefly talk about the main purpose of literature review. The first purpose of literature review is doing a literature review enable us to find what information already exists in our field of research. The second purpose of the literature review is it identifies the gaps in the literature review. It can help us to find gaps in the literature review. What are those gaps? And then we have to provide solution to those gaps in our research work. The third purpose of the literature review is it enables us to find other people working in our field. We also know who else is working on this specific field that we are working now. Who has worked before? We know the authors, the researchers that have already worked on this specific topic. The next purpose of the literature review is it identifies major seminal works. It identifies the main works, major works in our research area. What are the main work of our research work? The next purpose of the literature review is it identifies the main methodologies and research techniques. What are the methodologies and research techniques are used in our research field by different researchers. So we know those methodologies and techniques of research that have already used in the previous research works by different researchers. The next purpose is it identifies main ideas, conclusions and theories, and most importantly it establishes similarities and differences. So what are the main ideas? What are the conclusion of those research works that already have been done by different researchers in this area? And it established the similarities and differences. What are the difference between these techniques, theories that used by different researchers? The next important point of the literature review is it provides us a context for our own research. So it provides the way for our own research, how to go with our research, what to do in our research. So it provides the main context for our research. So it clarifies the pros in our research work. So we know what to do with our research work after doing the literature review. And the last important point of the literature review is it shows the relationship between previous studies and theories. So we will also know what are the relationship between the previous studies that we have studied. Different studies have used different theories, and we know the difference of those theories and studies by doing a literature review. Now the question is how to perform a literature review. How to do this in order to obtain those points. I will show you a systematic way, the important points, the critical points in doing a literature review. The first one is you need to consider the number of citations. So when I am doing a literature review, what I require? I require to download previous research articles related to my research work. So which article I should download first? I have to consider the citation of those papers. Citation means how many times this specific paper is cited and used by different researchers. So the more citation a paper has, the more quality that paper has. So consider the citation. When you go to IEEE or any other journal, whenever you want to download, below the paper, below the article, you will see the number of citations. So if the number of citation is high, it means the quality of this paper is high, because this paper is used by different researchers in their work. The next step you have to consider while doing a literature review, year of publications for papers. This is very important. So download those papers that are recent, latest paper. So at least the year should be between 5 to 10 years. You don't require to download a paper which is published 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Because the more latest paper you download, the more latest idea you will find. And where you can download these papers? You can download the papers from reputed journals in your field, from conferences, and you can also use books for the literature review. Now I will show you one systematic technique based on my experience. Whenever you are doing any literature review, you require to have 50 to 100 research articles related to your research. So reading those papers, finding the objective, research methodology, observation, conclusion is a tough job. What you need to do, so when you read one paper, second paper, third paper, you need to note all the important points of that paper with yourself in a separate Excel sheet or a database or a log file in order to use them after you have read those papers. And don't forget that what was in so and so paper. What you require now, I will show you a tabular form. Create a table with 7 columns. The first column should be the author name, the second title, the third column geographic location, the fourth column objective, the fifth is research methodology, the sixth is findings and conclusion, and the last one is observations. What you do in the first author name, when you read a paper, write the author name in this table. What is the author name of this paper? In title column, write the title of the paper. In geographic location, write the geographic location of this paper, where this paper has been published. Right? Objectives, when you read the paper, see what is the objective of this paper. Then write the objective in this column. Then the research methodology, what research methodology they have used in this paper. What is the sample size, what is the data collection tools, what is the variables used, which statistical techniques they have used. All you need to list them in this research methodology column. And in findings and conclusion, what are the findings of this paper? So when you get the findings, then write the findings and conclusion of this paper in this column. And the last one is the observation. The observation is for those that they want to write a paper, research paper. So it is also called research gap. So when you read a paper, you will find that this author has talked about so and so concepts but has not covered this concept. So that is the research gap you find in that specific paper. So when you find this research gap, write the research gap in the observation column. Do this for all the papers that you have downloaded for your literature review. Why? Why you do this? Because when you complete reading, then you have to write your literature review in your paper. Then you will come to this table and you know that this paper has talked about this concept, they use this methodology, this is the objective, and you can simply use them. If you don't do this, then when you read one paper, the second paper, third paper, then you will forget what was in paper number 1. So this was all about how to perform a literature review and what is the main purpose of a literature review. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and share the video with your friends.